Schoolhouse Red is here to tell you that even though the weather outside is frightful, we've got gumbo that is so delightful. If you want to make a gumbo to stay warm or make that grocery budget stretch, stay tuned.
Hey friends, Danielle here, and today we are going to make gumbo. The Magnolite pot is out, yeah. It's time to get cooking, but I would be remiss if I did not say a couple of things first. Thank you to my mom who gave me her Magnolite pot and making this possible. And thank you to my godmother for giving me the Cajun Ninjas cookbook. I typically follow his recipe, but I am gonna use a couple of twists and family secrets from my grandmother's gumbo cookbook that she gave me. I'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's get started.
Here's an overview of all the ingredients that you will need to make your fantastic chicken and sausage gumbo. But don't worry, I will go ahead and put the recipe down in the description box so you don't have to scramble to try and write it down as you're watching. By the way, this was filmed in October. Here we go, the pot has been warmed, so let's go ahead and dump our flour and oil and start stirring to make that roux from scratch. So this is what it looks like once it's all incorporated, and then you just babysit this, quite literally, stirring continuously. You might be able to stop for like 30 seconds or so to go do something, but this is what it's gonna look like. We are looking for the consistency of this, but we want a much darker, almost like a chocolate color to our roux. The weather is gorgeous. Okay, let's see if I can do the Cajun Ninja justice. Jason, if you're watching this, let me know how I did. Ooh, paya! Woo! As you can clearly tell, this roux is going to take a long time to form. There will be specks coming from the bottom, but keep stirring. You don't want to burn it. That's the last thing you want to do. While that's going, I have mentioned that you can maybe stop for 30 seconds. At this point, go ahead and start browning your sausage. You want to sear it, but not cook it completely. Don't worry about those juices in the bottom of the pan because we want that in our gumbo. So once your sausages are almost done, put the heat down on simmer and go back to that roux. I just wanted to come on here real quick and share the cookbook that I'm talking about. The Cajun Ninja cookbook you can clearly see in the video, but this is the Gumbo Festival cookbook that I mentioned. My grandmother gave this to me by request when I asked her for her 4-layer delight recipe, which is featured in this cookbook. And it's a commemoration of all of like her friends and the people in this town that contributed to the Gumbo Festival and contributed their recipes throughout the years. And these are people that many are no longer with us. So this is very sentimental and special to me. And my grandmother is no longer able to cook, even though she is still with us. Cooking is long gone. So I'm really glad to carry on some of her recipes. And I actually made a cookbook featuring the dishes that our family loves so much from her. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy because the back door is open and the wind's blowing and they are so happy. It's like husky weather outside. So I have this and it's just really, really, really special to me. Here's her 4-layer delight recipe that was featured in there. I'm going to eventually make a video on that, and I do intend to cook through the cookbook that I made to commemorate my grandma in particular. We'll get to that another time, but I just wanted to share this because I mentioned it. And this weekend, actually currently going on right now, is the Gumbo Festival. So it's just something that we grew up participating in and being a part of this church and this community. And it's really special because, you know, we moved and we're not there to experience that this weekend. So because the weather is cooler and because I'm just feeling in a sentimental type of way, my grandmother's birthday was a couple of days ago. So I'm going to make this gumbo in her honor and in my grandfather's honor, honestly, because quite literally the last thing that he did on this earth before falling ill and going to the hospital and never returning back to his home was making the gumbo for the festival back in 2016. And the year following, the kitchen was dedicated to his memory. So this is something that's been in my bloodline and something that I am really proud of. It's part of my heritage, part of my culture, and I'm just looking to continue that down and keep it going. So just wanted to share that little piece of my heart with y'all. Oh, the nervous laughter and trying hard not to cry during the filming of that last scene. Here we are with a caramelly, peanut buttery, almost there color. Keep stirring. There's that chocolatey color that we want. Go ahead and throw in your vegetables, stir them up real good, and we want to cook them down for about 10 to 15 minutes. You want them to be really soft. Once that's achieved, you can go ahead and throw in your sausages, use some of your chicken stock to get the sausage juice out of the pan, and put the rest of your chicken stock into your gumbo. So I've already done that. Now I'm adding the recommended amount of water, and party foul, my spoon fell in the pot. I actually had to edit out me laughing in the original soundtrack of this because I laughed when that happened. Then I'm dumping in some of my secret Cajun spices. You did see Tony Chachere's, but there is a little bit more that goes into it. And we're gonna stir and let that come to a boil. Beautiful bubbles. Now go ahead and put your lid on and turn that stove way down so that it can simmer. Make sure that you set a timer and you do not forget to stir every 15 minutes for 1 hour. After 1 hour has elapsed, you can go ahead and dump in that shredded rotisserie chicken from before. Yum! Get that all in there, stir it up and recover and do the same thing. Let it simmer, stir it every 15 minutes for another hour. After an hour has passed, you can remove your lid, add in about 2 cups of cold water, stir everything so the flavors just mash up. And y'all, that is it. Serve this over some rice, and this goes a long way. We have enough to freeze a whole lot and eat off of this for several meals. Try it and let me know what you think about this amazing New Orleans Cajun style gumbo.